Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven, aka Storm, and we are back for some more of the Elder Scrolls Online as Reewish, the Mighty Battle Lizard, here in Glenumbra, which is part of the Daggerfall Covenant storyline. No new news to report. Next week is the Daedric War questline, or the Daedric War celebration, so that's going to be going down. If you notice, I've got a couple of extra quests in my log now that I didn't have last time. That is because I went ahead and picked up a couple quests. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit breathless, I don't know why. I picked up and did a couple quests so I can turn in for the rewards. We're going to be heading to Aldercroft to continue the main quest of Daggerfall. Figured we get a little bit started early today, trying to get as much progress in as possible. Let me send out the invitations to the stream, see if we can get some people up in here. Right, sent out what invitations I can. Go ahead and get moving forward. Oh hey, the bot in Discord actually decided to announce my stream on time for a change instead of waiting like 10 minutes to announce my stream. If the volume's a little bit loud, let me know. I had to adjust the settings, so things aren't quite as what they used to be. In fact, I'm gonna just go ahead and turn down the master volume a little bit. That's good. Thanks for that. Thanks for checking that for me, Crap.
I don't want to hurt you, but now I'm going to.
Hey, you there. Greetings, citizen. I seem to have suffered a temporary setback. I could use a bit of help.
What happened to you?
These bloodthorn cretins ambushed me, and while I was on a mission of incredible importance, there were dozens of them, but I didn't go down without a fight. What will the Lion Guard do without me?
You are on an important mission?
The orc that sits before you, represents the future of the Lion Guard. I am Recruit Gorok, pride of New Orsinium. Please untie me. We have work to do. We must recover the General's dispatch and return to Captain Vistra.
Alright, hold still. Pride of the Lion Guard.
I took a beating when the Bloodthorns grabbed me. I won't be much help in a fight, but I'll cheer you on.
Okay. General Gautier's dispatch. Right, we need to return to Aldercroft. Well, technically we're heading there for the first time, but you know what? It doesn't matter.
Thank you. I'll take the dispatch to Captain Vistra. Find me later. I owe you a drink.
It's a little bit better. Sorry, I'm still trying to get all my settings back. It feels like everything is off.
My enchantments are superior to anything you'll find anywhere else in the city. Of course, quality will cost you more, but trust me, it's worth it.
I have something for you. It's from Richard Dusant.
De Bella's silky britches. Look at the books on this list. This is unprecedented. Where did Richard find such a thing? What a remarkable discovery.
I found the index. Richard Destin's spirit told me to bring it to you.
Spirit? Ah, Richard. I knew you would get yourself killed one of these days chasing your beloved treasures. I spent many an evening listening to his tales of adventure. I shall miss him dearly.
He knew you would appreciate the Dresden index.
The Dresden index? Remarkable. I'm sad that Richard died, but the information in the keep will be invaluable to our scholars. Thank you for this. And here's something for your trouble. What a magnificent find! I doubt Richard appreciated its value, though. He sought treasure, not knowledge. I'll see that the Dresden Index winds up in the proper hands.
My son left 5 days ago. I haven't heard from him since. I'm led to believe you're the one to thank for Gorak's safe return. He even retrieves the General's dispatch.
Yes, I found Garrick at the Bloodthorn camp in the swamp.
Recruit Gorak claims that you helped him defeat dozens of cultists and recovered the dispatch from a foul necromancer. Is this true?
Alright, so we have three choices. We can say he was amazing, the cultists ran in fear before him, his injury slowed him down, but he certainly helped out, or he was useless, he just got in my way. I'm leaning towards the middle option, but as we do, we try to put out a vote to see if anybody wants to vote. Given until the 8-minute mark. If no one's replied, I'll just go ahead and do the middle option. Okay, Rick's injury slowed him down, but he certainly helped out.
Ah, I thought he might be telling tall tales. Still, what Gorak did was brave. Stupid, but brave. Thank you for finding Gorak, stranger. I shudder to think what those cultists would have done to him. Gorak, you took the initiative and did your best. You aren't quite ready for the Lion Guard, but you're close.
I understand, Captain. I'll double my efforts and make you proud. You can count on me.
That's...
Be warned. Most of the riffraff from Camelot is gathered. What is it? I'm afraid we've got a bit of an emergency at the moment.
I'm searching for a hunter named Gloria Fausta.
I don't know anyone who goes by that name, I'm afraid. Our Duke was kidnapped. Perhaps she was taken along with him. I certainly wouldn't put it past those Bloodthorn bastards. We have a bit of a situation with Duke Sebastian of Camlorn. Perhaps you'd be willing to help extract the Duke from a rather precarious situation.
What happened?
Our bumbling town watch allowed the Duke to get kidnapped, that's what happened. Please, you look like you can handle yourself. Surely someone with your talents can help us.
Who kidnapped the Duke?
The damn Bloodthorn cult. With Camlorn in chaos and the Duke out of action, who knows what the cult intends? At least the Lion Guard finally arrived. Speak to Lieutenant Harim if you want to help. Last I heard, he was near the lighthouse.
I'll talk to the lieutenant.
Lieutenant Harim was scouting near the lighthouse. Maybe he's figured out where the Bloodthorns are holding the Duke by now.
Tell me about the Duke.
Why, His Grace is the Duke of Camlorn. What else is there to say? He loves his people and they love him. He was driven out of Camlorn by Foul Chu and his werewolves. Now he reigns in exile from Aldcroft. Well, at least he did before the kidnapping.
You really have no idea what the Bloodthorn cult intends?
I could guess. With most of our force besieging Camlorn, we're stretched thin, and frankly, the local watch isn't much use. With the Duke gone, the enemy can take Aldcroft. Then they hit our troops at Camlorn from the rear, but I'm just guessing.
Tell me about Falchu.
Falchu's a terrible brute. He leads the werewolves that invaded Camlorn and forced the rightful rulers to flee for their lives.
You really have no... Okay, no, we already asked that. Go find this lieutenant. I am a lizard, and I'm really fat, 'cause I am a lizard. There's another quest over there I need to pick up.
Watch yourself. This place is thick with bloodthorn cultists.
I'm here to help rescue the Duke.
I could use a seasoned warrior. There's no point relying on the local watch. They're simply not up to the job. The Duke's in the lighthouse, guarded by bloodthorns. I was waiting for reinforcements to arrive before making a move.
I'll rescue the Duke.
You're a bold one. Very well. When the reinforcements get here, we'll make sure none of the cultists slip away. And if your plan doesn't work, we'll drink a toast to your memory later in the tavern.
Why is the Lion Guard here?
We were sent to provide more security for the Duke and to keep something like this from happening. It's too bad we didn't arrive sooner. The local watch just wasn't prepared to deal with the bloodthorns.
Go pick up the quest over here, too.
My poor Papa, what will I do without you? Why would they kill a defenseless old man?
What happened to your father?
They came in the night. They came right into the lighthouse and attacked us in our sleep. I ran here and hid. You aren't going to make me leave, are you? I feel safer here, please.
You can stay, but you need to tell me who killed your father.
It was the Bloodthorns. Oh, poor Papa. I left everything behind. I don't even have his dear old pipe to remember him by. If I just had that one small thing, maybe I could find some comfort.
Then I'll find his pipe and bring it back to you.
Coming for us.
I'm glad you're helping, Alexia. Will you aid me as well? Come, mortal. Do a favor for this poor, weary spirit.
I'll help you, but I need to get your pipe to your daughter. She thinks it'll bring her comfort.
My daughter is lost to her grief. How can she send you here, to a haunt of vile cultists, to retrieve a pipe? Sheer folly. She should have something of real value, something that will allow her to move on.
What do you suggest?
For years, I've been hiding gold under a tree southwest of the lighthouse. Dig it up and give it to my daughter. Then she needs to go to my brother in Crosswitch. There she can start anew.
Okay, easily done. Well, hello, Duke Sebastian.
You don't look like a Bloodthorn cultist. I assume this is a rescue attempt?
Yes, I'm here to rescue you.
Divines be praised. The cultists trapped me with these focus crystals. I'm a bit of a mage myself, but I'm powerless inside this ward.
I'll destroy the crystals.
I'm free. Now to get out of here. But there's one more thing. Thanks, friend. But I'm not the cult's only prisoner.
Who else did they kidnap?
I overheard the cultists talking. They have a prisoner who's a threat to the werewolf leader Falchu. They plan to execute her. If she really is a threat, then it seems crucial that we rescue her.
I'll find her and set her free.
Very good. I'll return to Aldcroft. Meet me there after you rescue this mysterious woman.
Oh, there's a Sigic Rift too. That's a rare find.
Executioner. You couldn't lift the axe, let alone deal with all the blood.
Save your insults for the Bloodthorn. I'm here to free you.
Splendid. Cut me loose. We'll kill these Bloodthorn dogs and then go after Falchu and his werewolves.
Duke Sebastian will want to talk to you first.
Sebastian? We don't have time for... Oh, very well. We'll talk to the Duke. Let's go then. No time to waste.
I'll hold still and I'll cut you loose.
My thanks, friend. That was too close for comfort. I'll meet you in Aldcroft.
I didn't know you were interested in that genre. I'll have to remember that.
Let's ride!
I thought Papa was nearby, but now, nothing. Do you have his pipe? I just want to hold on to him, just a little longer.
Your father's spirit was here. He had a message. Take this gold and go to Crosswatch.
He appeared? He appeared and spoke about me? I recognize this satchel. What's inside it? Oh, Papa. Ever the pragmatist. There's enough here to get supplies in Aldcroft. Then I can go on to Crosswitch.
Off we go!
I mean, to be fair, all she wanted was a keepsake of her father. I mean, it's not like she needed anything fancy. She just wanted something of her father's to remember him by. I mean, it's kind of sweet.
Here I am, safe and sound back in Aldcroft. I have you to thank for that.
Have you spoken to Gloria?
Yes, and I share her concerns about both Camlorn and Aldcroft. We must deal with these werewolves once and for all. In fact, I hope to involve you in that. Gloria suspects Falchu's agents are here among us, even now.
Werewolves here in Aldcroft?
Indeed. They hide in human form. It's exactly what they did in Camlorn before they struck. We need to find and destroy them before Aldcroft suffers the same fate as poor Camlorn.
How can I spot hidden werewolves?
Gloria says this amulet can be used to reveal the hidden werewolves. I'm sure she can tell you more about it.
If there are werewolves here, I'll find them.
I know why you're here, but where I got that amulet is a discussion for another time. Just be careful. The werewolves won't appreciate having their secrets revealed.
How does the amulet work?
I'm no expert, But Hircine is the Daedric prince of man-beasts. The amulet bears the call of Hircine. Werewolves can't resist its call. It forces them to reveal their true nature. Pretty useful, right?
The call of Hircine?
Don't you know anything? Hircine, the creator and guardian of all were-creatures? Hircine's call. Well, it calls to their true nature. Reveals them for the beasts they really are.
You seem to know a lot about werewolves.
What of it? Don't you have some werewolves to go find?
I'm interested in your story. I did save your life.
Fair enough. All right, here's the dark truth. I'm related to Falchu. He's my ancestor. Every day, my family and I live with the shame of the horrors he inflicted on the world. And now he's back. So I hunt werewolves, and I kill them.
Alright, we're looking for Camlorn refugees.
That was strange. What just happened?
If they're normal, nothing happens.
The pain! It hurts! Been discovered! Attack! Attack!
Why did you do that? What was that odd light?
What's happening to me? Aldcroft must fall for Claw and Fang.
That was strange. What just happened?
I've heard of cold feet, but why would anyone open an oblivion portal
My
just to stop
skin!
a wedding?
It's on fire! I'll chew on your bones and gulp your blood.
Why did you do that? What was that odd light?
I don't know why when I sit down to stream, it's when the tiredness often hits. Like, it's not when I'm doing anything else, it's when I'm sitting down to stream. The tiredness is like, oh hey, by the way...
I don't... For victory!
That was strange. What just happened?
Hope we find something?
What's happening to me? For Falchu! For victory!
Come on.
Are they here? Are Falchu's cursed offspring here in Altcroft?
I'm afraid so, Your Grace.
So Gloria was right. I suppose I should have known. At least we'll be better prepared this time. And it seems I'm once again in your debt. At least now we know what we're facing. Meanwhile, Gloria has discovered something important about how Falchu came to power.
What did Gloria discover?
Gloria says that Falchu was summoned back from the dead. If that could happen once, how can we hope to stop this villain? Anyway, to learn more, Gloria needs a live werewolf. Can you capture one for her?
How can I capture a werewolf?
Talk to Sergeant Armoyle. His soldiers faced werewolves in Camlorn, and they captured one of the beasts. He can advise you. Then meet Gloria in the cave to the east across the bay. That's where she'll perform the rite to learn how to defeat Falchu.
Okay, I'll talk to the sergeant.
The more I learn, the less I like it.
As soon as you catch a werewolf, meet me in the cave across the bay. I hate to miss the fun of the hunt, but I have to prepare the cave for our reluctant guest.
Tell me about the ritual you're going to perform.
Falchu died a long, long time ago. He was summoned back from the dead. I want to find out who to blame for that. You can read the history of a werewolf's sire from the blood of his offspring. That's why we need to capture a werewolf.
Aren't you Falchu's offspring?
If that was a joke, I don't think it was very funny. Go capture me a werewolf. I got things to do.
She means someone that somebody turned into a werewolf, not the other, not biologically. Which I still feel like is a genuine question, but whatever. Alright, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go wash my face real quick, because I'm drifting off over my controller. Almost halfway through. I return.
I'm tired of defending this backwater. There's work to be done in Camlorn and... Oh, sorry. I thought you were one of my soldiers.
The Duke said you could help me. I need to capture a werewolf.
Ah, right. That's not what I expected to hear. We did capture a werewolf at Camlorn. For a little while, anyway. My battle mage Lexi did it. She should be able to help you. Lexi, front and center, if you please.
Right. So here's how we capture a werewolf. You fight the beast and keep it busy. Meanwhile, I cast the spell that entraps it. Just do your part and leave the magic to me. I'm an expert.
Alright, let's go.
Beware, stranger. I'm no warrior. I'm a chandler. Candles don't make very good weapons, you know.
What's wrong?
A group of us. We were fleeing from the trouble in Camlorn. But we ran into a fresh set of problems when we got to this blasted fen. As we made camp, some Bloodthorn cultists swooped in. They grabbed the women traveling with us and dragged them off.
Why did they only take the women?
Our leader, Guy LeBlanc, heard them talking about a coven. That means witches and trouble. Maybe you could talk to LeBlanc. He's around here somewhere. You could sure use the help. We are way out of our element here.
Alright, find a safe place. I'll look for LeBlanc.
Go to Aldcroft, he says. It'll be safer, he says. I shouldn't have listened to LeBlanc.
Why were all of you out near these fens?
We're from Camlorn. There's been trouble there. We thought maybe things would be a bit more settled in Aldcroft. But no place is safe these days, it seems. If something happened to my Elodie, I will never forgive myself.
Is LeBlanc your leader?
More or less. He's usually a take-charge sort of fellow. It was his idea to head to Aldcroft, so he feels responsible for all this. His sister was among the women they grabbed.
I need to dismiss Miri temporarily.
I really don't like your odds.
Wait, Miri, I just missed you.
I think that time I overdid it. Let's find another one.
I should never have suggested fleeing to Aldcroft. Brilliant idea, LeBlanc. Now they're gone. All the women in our group. Kidnapped by cultists and dragged off into the fen.
Are you Guy LeBlanc? I was sent to look for you.
Yes. We should have stayed in Camlorn. At least my sister would still be with me. We thought we'd go to Aldcroft, but ran into trouble here in the fens before we got there. Bloodthorn cultists swarmed in and grabbed all the women and took them away.
Why just the women?
I heard them say something about a hag coven in the North Fens. My sister Bethany was fighting them as they dragged her off. I don't know what to do. I feel useless. I'm not used to this sort of life. I sent the others to the Reewish camp nearby.
I have some questions.
I'll do my best to answer, friend. It's our good luck you happened by when you did.
Why didn't you ask the Lion Guard for help?
The Lion Guard? They can't even defend Camlorn. That must sound bitter. Well, you're talking to someone who lost everything. We had nice homes, shops, comfortable lives. Now look at us.
What do you know of the Weirisses?
The Weirisses are witches of a sort, devoted to nature and the Weird Tree. They helped us after the attack, and said we could stay at their camp until we were ready to move on. It's nearby, to the southeast. What remains of my group is there now.
What else can you tell me about the area?
Not much. It's big, and it smells. Bloodthorn cultists roam the southern fen, and hags prowl the north. I wish I had stayed in Camlorn. I thought we'd be safer out here, but look what happened. I hope Bethany's all right.
Go safely. I'll see if I can find your sister, or any of the others.
Cultists? Bogs? Bugs as big as my head? Why, oh why did I ever leave the city?
I might not get as much progress as I'd like to today, which would be sad, but... Excuse me, sorry. There's a werewolf.
Got him! No, I haven't. Mud crabs. Now we need another werewolf.
I just messed up. I definitely should have captured that werewolf instead of killing it. Yeah, this stream might be shorter than usual. Say my brain is not firing on all cylinders right now for some reason. I don't know, I just have trouble staying awake when I don't have anybody in the chat with me talking, so...
By Julianos, it worked!
Okay.
Well, that should hold the ugly cur. Take the werewolf to the cave. I'll tell Sergeant Armoyle it worked.
You caught one. Good. Let's get him into the circle. I'll create a link between the three of us. We'll be able to see into the werewolf's past, and hopefully into Falchu's past as well. The connection between offspring and sire is strong.
Goodbye.
Now the legendary werewolf lord shall fulfill Molag Mol's true purpose. Arise, minion! Arise from the dead.
I serve no one, rich man.
Serve or suffer, cur. I have bound you to my will. Lenumbra's destruction is your only goal.
Today I submit to you, Angov. But one day soon, I will rip out your heart and eat it whole.
So, it was Angov. I thought I smelled the stench of true evil.
Both you and Angov work together. What do you think it all means?
You saw what I saw. In order to stop Falchu for good, we need to put an end to Angov. A tall order, but it's not impossible. Wait. The werewolf apparently has something to say.
Fools. Your Duke has been blessed with Hircine's curse. He will destroy everything he loves. You have failed. Angov has sealed your fate.
The Duke was infected? I was afraid of that, but I hoped I was wrong. I've been keeping an eye on him in case the change came over him.
What have we... We have to do something.
Falchu has been ahead of me every step of the way. This failure falls on my head. But we can resolve this here and now. I need to die, and you need to take my blood.
What?
We're wasting time. I need to die so you can take my blood. If administered in time, the blood of the Master can cure his spawn. You know I'm Falchu's descendant. If the Duke drinks my blood, he'll be cured of the curse.
Camlor needs the Duke. I'm sorry, Gloria, but you need to die. Or no, this is not this way. We need you alive. I'll handle the Duke. Honestly, either one of them is fine. I don't really want this lady to die, but I'm willing to go with either option. So if anybody's watching, you can post in the chat for a vote. If we hit the 42-minute mark and there's no votes, I will decide on how I think my character would react. So. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, well we're gonna go ahead and go with the option that my character would do. Sorry, Gloria, but you need to die.
This poison will kill me quickly without contaminating my blood. Swear to me you'll finish what we started. Save the Duke and restore my family's honor. And may the Eight watch over you.
Goodbye, Gloria. Fireball me cigarette again? What the heck? You can try to get me, werewolf. I don't think you'll catch me, though.
I apologize to all of you. I thought I could fight this off. I was wrong.
Take this, it will help.
The pain fades. That was blood, wasn't it? You gave me Gloria's blood, didn't you? Just one more thing Falchu must pay for.
Yeah, I was kind of confused why she couldn't just stay alive and give me some of her blood to give him, but whatever. We're halfway through the Glenumbra storyline now.
Thanks to you, my nightmare is over. It's time to return to Camlorn.
What's the next step?
The only benefit from my brush with lycanthropy is that now I understand the curse. And I know that Falchu, having been raised once, can be raised again.
How do we prevent that?
I have Mages Guild researchers already working on that problem. They're trying to discover how Falchu originally died. If you want to help, they're at Glenumbra Moors, the battle site where Falchu died. The first time.
I'll find them. The Glenumbra Moors. Excuse me.
What do you want?
Aldcroft, we barely knew thee. Hello, Odette.
My brother was almost killed by one of Falchu's werewolves. I couldn't bear losing him, and I don't want anyone else to suffer such pain. That's why I'm here. We'll find a way to stop Falchu.
I found this journal. It contained a message addressed to you.
I didn't think we'd ever find this journal. My brother escaped the mines, but one of Falchu's werewolves attacked him. He's resting, but he'll be happy to have this again. And I'm sure his notes will be useful. Thank you for returning it to us.
A messenger? From Aldcroft by any chance? What news from there? We heard reports that Camlorn refugees had inundated the town.
Werewolves tried to take over the town, but they didn't succeed.
That's good. Losing Camlorn was bad enough. Meanwhile, we've made significant progress here. Our research is finally beginning to yield results.
Complete quest.
The ghosts of the Alessian army still haunt this place. It's been an age since the Battle of Glenumbra Moors raged here, yet the spirits linger.
What are you looking for?
Falchu, the beast that ravages Camlorn. He fought and died here. We want to know what happened all those years ago. Then we can kill him again.
How do you find out what happened so long ago?
Sarvith, our master of incunabula, hopes to evoke a vision that shows us the events surrounding Falchu's death. We're collecting the most powerful historic artifacts to use as focus objects. The spirits are making the task difficult, however.
I'll help if I can.
The generals of the Alessian army played a vital part in the Battle of the Glenumbra Moors. Their weapons, if still intact, would suffice, I think. If you manage to get your hands on the weapons, find Sarvith. He knows what to do from there.
Why is it important to find out how Falchu died?
Falchu wasn't called the Invincible General for nothing. You can cut him, bash him, fill him full of arrows. He just keeps coming. We must discover how they stopped him and ended this ancient war.
Can you tell me more about the Battle of the Glenumbra Moors?
I could tell you the basic story, but if you want a deeper understanding, you need to ask our lore master, Dalina. She's up on the tower observing the movement of the spirits.
Why is it important? Oh, we already asked that question. All right.
Just look at those lost souls. What drives them? Why do they fight on?
Can I ask you about the war?
Of course. What would you like to know?
What actually happened here?
This is where Clan Dureni fought to defend High Rock against the invading Alessian Order. The Alessians outnumbered them 3-1, but this was Dureni land, and the clan prevailed.
Tell me about the Alessian Order.
The Alessians were a fundamentalist sect that wanted to purge elven influence from Tamriel's religions. We think Falchu was one of their generals. They called him the Changeling and the Invincible One.
Falchu sounds fearsome.
Nothing could stop Falchu. The soldiers he bit became werewolves and turned against their own. This land should have fallen to his lycanthropic plague. But someone or something killed him that day.
Do you know who killed him?
Legends tell us that the Nameless Soldier killed Falchu. It's said the Nameless Soldier prevailed by making a great sacrifice.
Tell me about the Dureni forces.
The Dureni settled in High Rock long ago. They were ancient High Elves who stood with the local Bretons against the Alessian invaders.
I mean, the local Bretons were their children, so, I mean, of course they stood with them. So the one who slew Falchu was Dureni?
Seems likely. We don't know how the Nameless Soldier defeated Falchu yet, but we're determined to figure it out.
Alright. And I'm going to strive to get the good ending in this place, because there is actually a bad ending and a good ending. I'm going to try to get the good ending. Oh hey, there's a foul fishing hole here. I need to remember that.
No Dureni shall get past these gates. Do you understand me?
Ancient blade retrieved.
They think they have an advantage, do they? Ha! Just wait until their plan crumbles.
Ah, that shut him up.
Make sure these orders circulate among the troops. They need to be prepared for what's to come.
Alright, we got the ancient blades. We grabbed the sky shard.
It's true. Falchu is tall as a tree, with claws like great swords.
Yes, yes, and he breathed fire and ate warriors, armor and all. I've heard it all before.
Bagroon here claims that the threat Falchu poses has been greatly exaggerated. Poor fool wouldn't know a moth from a mammoth.
Grillella asked me to bring you these things.
Ah, the focus objects. These would do very nicely. Let me just, I don't think that was supposed to come off. Well, these swords are pretty beat up. I'm sure we'll still have plenty of material for the ritual, though.
What do you hope to accomplish?
If all goes well, we'll be able to peer into the past. Hopefully see what happened to Falchu. Find out how the Durenis were able to defeat the Alessians so long ago.
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
If something goes wrong, well, then we shall see what we shall see.
I'd like to observe the ritual.
Of course. We'll be using the amalgamated essence of the past, focused with these ancient weapons, to open a sort of window into history. Follow me. Now we may finally learn how Falchu was defeated.
And maybe we'll find out how tall the Horker really was.
Enjoy your food.
Listen to me. You must listen.
Well, that's
Giuliano's little teapot. We did it.
Giuliano's little teapot. Was that supposed to happen?
The spell worked better than I anticipated. We didn't just create a window into the past. We opened a door. The very air ripples with temporal disturbance. Somewhere nearby, a door into history stands open. All we need to do is step through it.
Who was that woman who appeared?
A fragment from the past, I think. Something that was pulled forward with the spell. Let's hope that was all we pulled forward.
Altogether, on this character, about 2.5 years, I think. I started, I've done a bunch of the game's content already, so. So how does this help us learn about Falchu?
Someone brave and rash enough has to actually step through the door we opened. I'm too valuable to get lost in the past, and Bagroon would probably change history with all his usual bumbling about. Ask Gralla what she thinks we should do.
We heard a scream, and then ripples of magical distortion started to sweep across the battlefield. What happened?
Your mages have opened a door into the past.
They were supposed to cast a simple divination spell, nothing more. Sarvith wasn't supposed to open any doorways.
Sarah thinks we can go back in time to learn about Falchu's death.
I don't like this. Time magic shouldn't be meddled with. But what's done is done. Maybe one of those ripples has the answers we seek.
What should I do?
Examine the ripples. See if there really is a doorway of some kind out there. And keep an eye out for anything else out of the ordinary. Who knows what they may have pulled out of the past.
It's great to hear the Mages Guild have a new refuge for study and contemplation.
Gonna play with time, gonna cause a dragon break.
You seek to see into the past. I can guide you.
I mean, it's probably a good thing to have a guide, because when you break the dragon, there are consequences.
I can show you how Falchu met his death.
I like the sound of that.
If Falchu has risen, then he must die again.
I'm not hearing any downside here. Besides, you know, the obvious reasons of why it's bad to mess with the time stream.
Split up! Go to the crypt. I'll meet you there and show you how to discover the secret you seek.
It's time to walk
talking anyway.
Yeah, but for example, I've done all of Somerset, I've done all of Aradon, I've done all of Rivenspire, all of Hrothgar. I'm level 50, but my champion point level is 1,692. Alana.
I remember this place. It all started here on the day of the final battle. We gave up everything to kill Foul Chew. I'll be damned if I just let him come back to life and curse the world again.
Is that why you returned?
I'm here because the one I loved gave up everything that day to save his people. You seek answers. I'm here to help you find them, and hopefully avoid the tragedy that occurred on that long-ago day.
Well, I had been playing since 2018, and I had only just hit 900 before the CP change in March. The CP change in March makes it a lot easier to earn CP, and there's been a lot of double XP events. I've taken advantage of those double XP events to earn a lot of champion points, and I try to learn at least one champion point a day. So, like, every day I log in, at least earn one champion point, so.
This armor is your key to the past. It belonged to my beloved, and was buried in this place of honor. It was my beloved's hand that cut Foul Chew down.
What happens if I put on the armor?
You'll relive the last moments of the battle. You'll take the place of my beloved. Experience the fall of Foul Chew as it happened. But be careful. You can affect events. Whatever you do may have untold consequences.
Yes, because we're breaking the dragon, and when you break the dragon, there are consequences. What kind of consequences?
You won't just see a vision of the past. You'll live through it. What you do may change the destiny of those around you. This is a terrible burden to carry, but it's the only way to get the information you seek. When you're ready, put on the armor.
I'll put on the armor.
This armor brings back such memories. Now get dressed. There's much to see, and the connection to the past won't last long.
Not every day. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, so... but I try to when I can. How do I return to the present?
When Foul Chew dies, the armor will eject you from the past. You'll return unharmed to the here and now. Yes, that's what will happen. I'm sure of it.
That doesn't make me feel very confident about it. Can you tell me about anything about where I'm going?
It was a violent, bloody time. The Alessians were on a holy crusade to purge every Mer who occupied this land and called it home. They destroyed anything with even the smallest connection to magic.
But you were Breton, not Mer. Why fight against them?
Would you stand by while those who didn't deserve to die were judged by religious zealots? Unless I strongly misjudged you, I think not. We did what was right, and we would do it again, which is why I'm here.
Tell me about your beloved.
Wise, kind, courageous. Everything one could want from a constant companion. But you'll see soon enough. I only hope that what you learn will help you in the present situation.
Alright, let's do this. Putting on the Durini armor. Yeah, I'm a PvEer myself
starting
here.
To worry about you.
Oh, it's Durini and a Breton as lovers. That's interesting.
Why do you linger, my love? Commander Parmeon rallies the troops for the final assault. You're his best officer and our noblest knight. You should be at his side for this moment.
I'm not sure what's going on.
Did that blow to your head rattle your senses? We're on the verge of turning the tide, and we'll launch the strike against Foul Chew's headquarters soon. Come, my love. We have work to do.
Remind me, what work is that?
The Alessian orders, of course. They're crucial. We captured the messenger, but not before he handed the orders off. We need to search enemy soldiers until we can retrieve them. We can't have the Alessians surprise us when we're this close to victory.
Yeah, they push their penetration pretty
find
high.
Those orders, then find me at camp.
Alright, Mary, I'm sorry, but for authenticity, there's really no way you could have traveled back in time with me, so... Hey, don't kill the Durrani. What's wrong with you? Oh, I see that the usual argument is going on in the chat. I swear, every time I come to Glenumbra, there is a werewolf versus vampire conversation going on. To all Alessian soldiers, the Durrani believe they have the advantage. They are comfortable in their camps and secure in their victory. Hold on, this is right. To all Alessian soldiers, the Durrani believe they have the advantage. They are comfortable in their camps and secure in their victory. They have lost focus. Word has reached us that the Durrani will launch a major assault in the coming hours. When that happens, we will send our Alessian scouts under the cover of shadows to get behind them, destroying their camp. If this works, we will catch their assault from behind in a flank and wipe them out once and for all. If no one will stand in the way of the Alessians, kill and keep killing in the name of the One. And if we lose, we'll tell our mothers. Ah, okay. Sorry about that. So I'm very much on Team Durrani. I really like the Bretons. Like, they're my favorite race. Like, and you're probably wondering, like, well, why didn't you play a Breton if Bretons are your favorite race? I honestly don't know why I picked an Argonian. It was kind of like a hunch of the moment thing. Like, I wanted to have one character of each race, and I just, like, decided to do an Argonian. And I was like, well, I already have this, I just started this character. Like, I could definitely stream on this character, so that's why I'm an Argonian, even though I definitely prefer Bretons. Commander.
There you are, my knight. Did you recover the orders?
Here are the Alessian orders, Commander.
Excellent. You're a credit to the Durrani Guard. Now we can prepare a proper counterattack to the upcoming Alessian assault. They won't know what hit them. You should show these to the Iliad King. He just arrived and is eager to get involved.
The Iliad King?
Yes, he surprised us all. We weren't expecting the last king of a dying people to show up on the field of battle. But he's a brilliant tactician, and his advice can only help. Meanwhile, we'll send Alana's unit to put an end to Falchu.
Alana? I need to be the one that strikes down Falchu.
What? Nonsense. Alana can handle it. If these orders are any indication, I need you to lead our defenses. But speak to Alana before she goes, if you like. Just make it quick, and don't forget to talk to the king.
Very well, Commander. You know, for an elf, he's not that bad. Like, the Durrani are not that bad for elves. Like, a lot of people hate on the high elves, but honestly, the Durrani are not that bad at all. King Dinor, I miss you so much. Why did you have to go and die in Cold Harbor?
A Breton fighting for the Durrani. Somewhat surprising, though not unheard of.
Wait, am I a Breton? I thought I was a... Hold on, wait a second. Wait a second. Oh, I guess I am a Breton. I thought for sure I was an elf. Never mind. Yeah, some people hate high elves. There's one person who's in this stream on a regular basis who definitely hates the high elves.
A Breton fighting for the Durrani. Somewhat surprising, though not unheard of considering the current circumstances. Wait a moment. That armor. I've heard stories about you. They say you fight as if Auriel himself blessed you.
Okay, well, two things. First of all, the Durrani are the forebears of the Bretons. So if the Durrani hadn't decided to sleep with the Nedic people, there wouldn't be Bretons. So they're kind of good. Well, not like mechanically, but some people hate how snooty the Altmerc, especially the Thalmor, are. So I'll have to accept that. Yeah, some people don't like them because of how snooty the Thalmor are. So first of all, the Bretons were created by the Durrani, so that's definitely an adding factor. Secondly, let's cut the mustard and just acknowledge that you know who I am and I know who you are because we've met in Cold Harbor. We recovered these orders from the Lycian soldier.
The situation unfolding upon the battlefield is telling enough. These orders only confirm my suspicions. The Alessians plan to slip past your defenses to, how do they put it, catch the Dareni with their trousers down. What a curious phrase.
What should we do?
Use the Dareni magic of your armor to spot the covert shadow scouts before they can do any significant damage. Then dispatch them with extreme prejudice. Simple enough, really. But I'm actually very curious about you.
Why are you interested in me?
These old Aeliad eyes see many things. Everyone in this yard, for example, radiates an aura of life force. But not you. Your aura's missing. I can't tell if you're not truly alive, or you just don't belong. I've never seen magic like this before.
You're right, I don't belong here.
Honesty. A most redeeming quality. But we will have to speak of this later, when matters are less pressing. Right now, we have a battle to win. I appreciate your report.
See, I'm actually not a Breton. I am, in fact, a lizard. Dun, dun, dun! Alana.
I know you wanted to go after Falchu, but you'll see plenty of action defending the camp.
Are you sure you don't want me to go with you?
I appreciate your concern, my love, but orders are orders. If either of us fails, this entire battle could be lost. But have no fear. I'll make sure we never have to worry about Falchu again.
How will you stop him?
How? He's just a man, my love. I'll stick my sword in him a few times until
Hey,
he drops.
welcome.
Then I'll stab him again. I'll be back in no time, carrying his head high as a trophy. I can't think of a better gift to celebrate our new family.
Our family?
Later, my love. I'll tell you all about it after the battle. No need to distract you right now. It's nothing but good news, though, I promise. I love you, you know. Now go.
Yeah, spoiler alert, she's having a baby. That's why she said that.
We make our final stand here. The Alessians are rabble and their numbers mean nothing. This land is ours and we intend to keep it. Today, Falchu and the Alessians meet their end at our hands. Today we celebrate our victory.
I'm just having a drink while he's talking. Oh wait, I can turn off that helmet. I didn't know that. No, it's only if I'm doing an emote. That's cool. Okay. I did not know that. That's an interesting thing to have learned. We learn something new every day, friends. They keep on saying, I am a lizard. I remember the first time I did this, it was a pain in the butt. Oh great, there's a war going on in the zone chat again.
Captain, Falchu's headquarters. We were ambushed.
surrounded. Alana and the others.
Yeah, this character is a mag sort. So.
Light it up!
I've actually been working on a hybrid build, sorcerer too. No, Commander! What happened, Scout? Scout, talk to me. What happened?
There were too many of them. They tore us apart. Captain, I have bad news. Commander Parmian is dead.
What happened?
Commander Parmian decided to accompany us, but it was a trap. We expected to find Fal Chu and his officers, but there was a whole platoon waiting for us. We couldn't stop them. The commander fought bravely, but they cut him down and took Alana.
Complete quest.
I'm afraid there isn't much time. We expect Fal Chu to launch a full-scale assault at any moment.
What do you recommend?
It's a tough choice. I think there are enough of us left alive to go after Fal Chu, but we also need to rescue Alana. I don't know. What are your orders, Captain?
I guess I need to decide.
This isn't an easy choice, I know. I don't envy you. But whatever you decide, we're with you.
Normally, I allow the chat to vote on what we do during the stream, but I'm sorry, I can't leave Alana. I have to go rescue Alana first. Take the soldiers and kill Fal Chu, I'll rescue Alana.
Yes, Captain. They dragged Alana up the path behind me. Good luck. We'll get Fal Chu for you.
Sorry, I just signed all of their death warrants, but I have to rescue Alana. My morals won't allow me to leave her in her state as a captive.
What a disaster. I should have suspected a trap. And now Commander Parmian's dead. What about Fal Chu?
I sent the remaining troops to kill him.
You sent them to be slaughtered. I was wrong. Fal Chu isn't an ordinary man. I drove my sword right into his heart and he didn't even feel it. Our weapons won't be able to stop him. The soldiers won't stand a chance.
There must be some way to kill Fal Chu.
Let me think. Wait a moment. The way he shrank back from our torches. Fire! That's the answer. It has to be. Tell the others. Help them. If Fal Chu isn't killed, we all lose.
What about you?
Someone needs to get this information back to our camp. If Fal Chu eludes you, our remaining forces need to know how to kill him. Go, my love. Go make history.
As long as you're free. Yeah, you're free. Okay. Alright, Fal Chu. I might not actually be the nameless soldier, but I'm currently playing the role of the nameless soldier, and I'm fairly certain that he would be angry at you trying to kill his beloved. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is like maximum rage right now. Die, you Imperial bastards.
Put those damn fires out. It's time to wipe out all traces of those Durrani. More Durrani? Put an end to these pests now.
Go ahead and send as many of your Durrani as you want.
Your weapons are no match for my fangs and claws.
Oh? Get over here. Get over here. No, we have to get him into the fire.
Set it ablaze. Split up.
There we go.
Use the fire. Like this? Oh, not like this.
The nameless soldier. Can I talk to the nameless soldier?
You to go back now. Return to your time. You learn that Fal Chu's weakness is fire. Use that knowledge well. Now enter the nearby portal. It will take you home.
Farewell, person I was inside the body of just a moment ago. That's totally weird, but... That's gonna make an awful. That's gonna make an awkward conversation with King Diner later on when he tries to talk to him about our meeting. He's gonna be like, "I don't remember that."
Welcome back. Are you all right? Were you successful? Why? Why are you staring at me like that?
You're a woman.
Why, yes, of course. Are you sure you're all right? It doesn't matter. What happened?
Well, first of all, you used to be a man. I killed Falchu. Fire weakens him and makes him vulnerable.
Fire. Can it really be that simple? Alana said that all along, but now we know for certain. Now we can take the fight to Falchu, and we can win.
Alana's here?
Where else would she be? She's the one who approved your mission. Don't you remember? I'm sure it'll all come back to you. Time travel can be very stressful. Anyway, Alana's in camp. Go tell her what you learned.
Yeah, we really messed with the time stream a little bit too much. Yeah, we didn't just break the dragon, we smashed the dragon.
You're back, and just in time. But the celebration must wait, I'm afraid. Falchu's forces have taken all of Camlorn, and the Lion Guard's counterattack falters.
Alana, is that really you?
What's wrong with you? Why are you looking at me like that? You know I'm the descendant of the spirit who appeared before you. Get your head on straight and tell me how Falchu was originally defeated.
Fire weakens him and makes him vulnerable.
I thought as much. That's the story our family has passed down through the ages, but I needed proof. Now Camlorn must be told. You know, what you've done here has changed everything. Maybe more than we know.
Yeah, I will say, because you didn't even exist just a minute ago.
The ghosts of the Alessian army still haunt this place. It's been an age since the Battle of Glenumbra Moors raged here. Yet the spirits linger.
Who should I take this information to?
If you go north, you should be able to catch up with the Lion Guard forces. Find an officer and tell him what we learned. Knowing Falchu's weakness might make all the difference.
I'll catch up with the Lion Guard troops. But not just yet. First of all, we're going to go ahead and do the Wicked Trade quest. Yeah, we're 15 of 24, so there's 9 more quests left. I'd like to make some more main quest progress today, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. We got an hour and 10 minutes left in the stream, so I'm sure we're going to make some more main quest progress. Even if I stop to do some side quests, we should still get some progress in. And I already got that delve down there done, so that's good news. Hey M Sharp, welcome to the stream. There was actually a person earlier asking about why people dislike high elf. There's signs of a struggle. This orc clutches some kind of broad sheet and a handful of large, sharp crocodile teeth. I should take the broad sheet and the teeth. Gold for teeth. Alright, I get to start with 5. That's nice. I just ripped 9 teeth out of that crocodile's mouth. Who wouldn't people dislike high elves is a better question. Yes.
A stranger who isn't dressed as a bloodthorn? I don't know what you're doing out here, but you're a sight for sore eyes.
Oh,
now hurry up and cut me loose.
Yeah, oh, you missed us messing with time, M Sharp. You're one of the women from Camlorn?
No, I'm the Queen of the Nords. Of course I'm from Camlorn. Did my brother Guy send you? I gave the cultists a hard time, so they tied me up. They took the other women away, though. I think they traded them to the bog hags.
Why did they trade the women?
The Bloodthorns have an arrangement with the hags. Something about exchanging us for their help against the weird. They even have a contract. I saw them arguing over it earlier. It should be around here somewhere.
I'll look for the contract.
Please try to find my companions. These cultists are insane. But the hags... who knows what they're capable of. I'll go find my brother. The poor sod is useless without me.
I'll find them. Now go to safety, Bethany. Found the blood-sealed contract. Hold on. I forgot Miri wasn't out. Look, everything's dead. Thank you. Let's try to read that thing now.
Ready when you are.
Oh, I can't. It's not here. Oh well. We'll try to kill some crocodiles along the way. Crocodiles are actually a good source of leather if you ever need to grind up your, to get a bunch of leather for like crafting. Killing crocodiles is not a bad way to do it.
Let's get out of here.
I got blown back by that one.
My sister and the other women made it here. Everyone's a bit rattled and tired, but otherwise they don't seem
I'm glad
hurt.
everyone's safe.
Thank you. Weirus Emily says a hag named Mother Merp was likely behind the abduction of the women. I wish we could stop her before she tries this again. All this danger and adventure. We're so not cut out for this.
Oh, my inventory is full. Okay, hold on. We're going to have to stop for a second and clear out the inventory. And I think I might take a quick bathroom break before we continue.
Approach, Featherless. You will not regret it. But if you do, take your complaints elsewhere. Elsewhere! Deals and bargains.
Oh, I just made 7,000 gold off that sale, by the way. Alright, I will be right back. Thank you for your patience.
All right, so how much trouble are you in?
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
My sister and the other women, thank you. Mother Merc leads a coven of hags. That's what the Weiruses told me. The coven hunts women to convert into hags or thralls. The Weiruses told me about the Reach woman, Sabelic. She knows how to deal with Mother Merc.
Where can I find Selblich?
She's staying with the Weiruses at the Northern Enclave. Meeting you was a bright spot in this otherwise dark adventure. If you can stop Mother Merc, that'll be one less thing for us to worry about.
I'll talk to Selblich.
You can find Sabelic in the Northern Weird Camp. Just follow the road across the bridges.
I have more questions.
I'll answer what I can. Too bad you aren't asking about a nice place to eat in Camlorn. That I know. History of this bog and information about hags? I only know what the Weiruses told me.
Tell me about Mother Merc.
They say she's got a taste for flesh. Thinks the bog belongs to her and the hags. The Weiruses have been fighting with her for generations.
Tell me about Sabelic.
Sabelic is a Reach witch staying with the Weiruses. Weirus Emily says she can look right into you and see things about your past and future. The Weiruses say she isn't evil, but I'd still be careful around her.
You gotta be careful around Reach witches. Yeah, that's a true statement.
Let's ride!
We're looking for crocodiles. Look, I'm a lizardy boy looking for other lizardy boys so I can blast them with lightning and take their teeth. I don't think I'm asking for much. I need to get around to buying that house eventually when it's available, because it's only available during the Witches Festival. I don't know. Next year, I'll buy it. What in the world is going on in the zone chat? Ah.
So you've come to the bog at last. I've waited for your arrival. It was written on the stones and in the sky.
You knew I was coming?
Fate has led you here, just as I have foreseen it. You wish to resolve the conflict between the Weird and the Coven. Mother Merc's anger and darkness run deep, even for a Hagraven. She's powerful, and leads the Coven through fear and pain.
How do I stop Mother Merc?
You'll need this charm to defeat her, for she can siphon vitality from even the strongest foe. Kill the lesser hags and drain their power into this charm. But use the charm only when Merc tries to siphon your life force. Don't waste its power.
I'll defeat Mother Merc.
You can find the hags to the west. Just protect that charm. It is your best defense against Mother Merc.
Can I ask you some questions?
Ask. I will answer what I can. Probably.
Why is Mother Merc your enemy?
Mother Merc opposes the Weiruses. She's your enemy, not mine. I can see how her darkness twists and harms the world around her, though. Such terrible things she does.
I don't understand.
The struggle between Weird and Hag is as old as the swamp itself. Both sides have sought my help, but this is not my battle. You, however, have picked a side. I help you and indirectly become involved, just as it should be.
Who are you exactly?
I am called by many names. Mire Witch, Old Bog Crone, the Swamp Seer. You may simply call me Sabelic.
Are you a Weirus?
No, I come from the Reach, just like Mother Merc. and Angoth. Not everyone who comes from the Reach seeks to do evil. The weird are hospitable, so I reside with them. Yet I don't begrudge Mother Merc her wickedness. It was her path to choose.
How will the charm help protect against? How will the charm help me against Mother Merc?
Mother Merc uses dark magic. She will drain your life to restore her own vitality. The charm, once empowered, will reflect her magic back upon her. But you must use it at the correct time, or it won't be of much help.
She'll probably die before I even get a chance to use the charm. That's what normally happens. Kind of cool that they have mechanics, but the mechanics are kind of pointless when you're as strong as my character.
Get back, you fetcher!
That's one. There's two. There's three now. I just saw four just a second ago. I actually had to use the charm this time.
Turn my own magic against me.
Do you want to brag about that, or should I?
Whichever. I feel like I did most of the work, but if you want to take the credit here, yeah, I don't blame you.
You have returned, and you are victorious, just as I have foreseen it.
I defeated Mother Merc.
I sensed her departure. The shadows cast by her destructive anger will fade from these fens in time. Perhaps she will find peace in whatever lies beyond this plane. You did well, I think.
It sounds like you feel sorry for Mother Merc.
She was a dark and dangerous creature, to be sure. I do not mourn her, but I wish her to be at peace. Mother Merc's influence on the hags was strong. With her gone, the balance of the fens will change.
I hope this puts an end to the danger facing the refugees.
Indeed, with Mother Merc gone, the hags will wither and the weird will prosper. You, however, have somewhere else to be. I see a long road ahead of you, traveler. Tread carefully.
I mean, you don't really need to be much of a seer to tell me that. There's always another trip for me to take. Always a new horizon to explore. Always a new threat to deal with. Until they stop updating ESO anyways. When that happens, then the battle lizard will be put to bed forever. But as long as there's new ESO content, I will continue to stream ESO.
I can't believe I lost. What a terrible idea this turned out to be. What was I thinking?
What happened to you?
My dream has turned into a nightmare. I wanted to start fresh in Daggerfall. I even have a name for my new shop. Garments by Odai. Has a nice ring, don't you think? Then, disaster. I cut through this pass and ran into wolves. I lost everything.
It can be dangerous to leave the main roads.
I was in a hurry. I had an appointment I had to keep. Anyway, could you help me? I'm ruined without my sewing box, silken threads, and book of patterns. Gather them and meet me on the other side of the pass. I'll take the long way around.
I'll retrieve your stuff and meet you on the other side.
As long as I have the tools of my trade, I can make an honest living. A good tailor is welcome anywhere.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Please, but do hurry. I worry that the wolves will chew up my book of patterns. I've made dresses and suits for nobles. Very elegant garments. The patterns in the book are priceless. Without them, my business is finished.
Why did you leave the main roads?
I thought the pass was a shortcut. Get me closer to Daggerfall. I'm not really good with maps, though. I'm not anywhere near Daggerfall, am I?
No, Aldcroft is closer.
Oh, I should have listened to... Well, anyway, if you help me get my things, I'll stick to the main roads until I reach a safe settlement. Aldcroft sounds fine. I'm just anxious to get going. Fresh start and all that.
You should have found a group to travel with.
Yes, well, I'm a spontaneous sort. Yes, spontaneous. Grab my tools and take to the road. Go where the moment takes me. I wanted a fresh start. Adventure. Excitement. I hadn't considered the wolves, though.
Okay. Let's go get the sewing box and stuff. If Star was here, she'd tell me to let the wolves eat me. She'd be like, no, you have to let the puppies eat you. I'm like, no, that's not happening. There's a corpse here. Oh, and another corpse. How many people does he send after his stuff? Oh, and look, there's another corpse. A werewolf. That's why they're sending corpses.
I don't suppose you've seen a frightened tailor wandering about. His name is Odai Philippe. I'm his wife, and I very much want to find him.
His wife's a guard. I met a tailor who asked for my help.
That sounds like my sweet Odai. Kindest man in the world, but as helpless as a kitten. We spent the night at the Lion Guard camp nearby, and he must have wandered off. He sleepwalks sometimes. Odai's not used to rough living.
There are wolves in the past. He's taking the long way around.
Oh, I do hope he isn't frightened. Even deer tend to startle poor Odai. I was taking him to my mother's home in Wayrest. She just loves Odai to pieces. I can better concentrate on my job if I know Odai's safe.
Didn't he say he was going to Daggerfall, which is the opposite direction of Wayrest? Odai should be along at any moment. I recovered the tools of his trade.
Oh, look, there he is now. Poor bedraggled darling. Thank you for helping him. I really will feel better once I get him safely to my mother's house. I just adore him so. I'd hate for anything to happen to him. There you are, my poor darling. You must have been sleepwalking again. You were gone when I woke up.
Yes, dear. Sleepwalking. Again.
Was my little cuddle bear frightened? You're safe now. I'll get you to my mother's. Have you snug as a bug in a rug in no time. And don't worry. I'll kill anyone or anything that gets in our way.
Yes, dear. I'm sure you will.
Well, that's enough excitement for one day. Come along, dearest. The sooner we get you to safety, the sooner I can get back to work. Don't forget to thank the kind stranger for helping you, dear.
Thanks, stranger. For nothing.
He was trying to escape. He was trying to escape. Ugh. Dude, you're the one who married the crazy lady. This poor bastard. Like, not only is she not completely there, but she's a mess. She's skilled with a sword and sword and shield. So it's not like he can even do anything because she gets to kill. Oh. I had completely forgotten about that quest. I've done it several times, but I forgot that his wife shows up and he's just like, "Thanks, stranger, for nothing." I wonder if you actually get to see him in Wayrest. I've never actually looked. I'll have to try to find out if he's in Wayrest.
The Crest-Shade refugees are safe, and Captain Genevi survived the battle. You had something to do with that.
What is it?
General Gardier.
First we lost Camlorn. Then they turned back our offensive. If we can't retake this camp, Falchu's beaten us. Nothing else matters until this is resolved.
I'm here to help. I know how to defeat Falchu.
Another wild theory. That's the third one today. Just don't get in the way. We've got enough trouble as it is. If you can fight, and you know the difference between a Breton's head and a werewolf's arse, we can use your help. We need to cut through the werewolves and link up with our troops on the other side of the camp.
I can do that.
Good. Help Shazar clear a path and fight your way to General Mandan at the Western Gate. We'll rally the troops there and turn the tide of the war. For a little while, anyway.
You can count on me, General.
Work with Shazar to cut a gap through those werewolves. We'll follow and take back what's ours. If you get through, report to General Mandan.
I know how to kill Falchu.
I'd love to hear your theories, but it won't mean anything if we don't take this camp back first. We need to be able to reach Falchu to actually defeat him. Let's talk after the siege camp is once again under our control.
So they first took over the city and then they took over your siege camp, okay?
I won't just stand here and watch our people die. Get General Gautier to give the order. My axe thirsts to taste werewolf blood.
The order's given. Let's take back the camp.
Ah, you sweet-tongued devil. That's what I like to hear. Follow me.
So war,
Make
friends.
the werewolves pay. Lion Guard, hold your ground.
The last of them.
Let's finish this. We made it. Get in there and find General Mandan.
Run
I'll
away.
signal the others to
Well,
move in.
no, I guess it wouldn't. Maybe they should try that.
Does anyone want to talk about the person in the chat named Princess Sephiroth? Sephiroth. One-winged angel starts playing.
These cursed werewolves. How in oblivion did you get in here?
General Gautier's troops are right behind me. I cleared a path for them.
Gautier's retaken the camp? You must have led quite a charge. Tell him I have almost a full company of soldiers in here, and we're ready to fight.
Back to the general we go. Back to the general we go. There's no reason to have mounted up.
The camp is ours again. I've never seen anyone fight like you. It was inspirational. Did you reach General Mandan?
Yes, she said her contingent is intact and ready to fight.
Good. Now for our battle plan. We need to take and hold the city courtyard, just inside the main gate. And we could use your help.
I know how to defeat Falchu.
Very well, spit it out. What's your theory on how to kill an unbeatable foe? Perhaps it will be better than the last half-dozen ideas I heard today.
Fire. It makes Falchu vulnerable to other attacks.
Intriguing. At least that makes more sense than throwing salt on the despicable creature. Well, perhaps we'll get a chance to put your theory to the test. In the meantime, can I count on your continued assistance?
What do you need me to do?
We can't hold the courtyard unless someone locks the inner gate. That'll keep werewolf reinforcements from reaching us. I need you to get into the northwest tower and lock that gate.
Consider the gate locked. Come on, Mary. We got things to do. Come, Mary. There's fuckery to attend to. Okay, going into the gate control chamber. Man, this is a massacre in here. Oh dear. Moonfang the Ravenous.
Fight, didn't they?
We made it in, thanks to you. With the gate locked, we should be able to hold this position.
Where are the Lion Guard soldiers?
You're looking at them. We're all that's left. We can hold this position, but we don't have enough troops remaining to make a full assault on the city.
Do you have a plan?
We're bringing in more troops, but that will take time. Until then, we hold this position. We never would have gotten this far without your help. We sent word to Aldcroft for reinforcements. I'll take anything they can send my way. Now, if I could only reach my son.
Your son?
My son Darian serves as captain of the Camlorn Guard. We've heard that there's still a contingent of guards operating within Camlorn, and Darian is among them. If we could reach them, our chances of retaking the city improve dramatically.
What do you mean?
Darian carries the master key to the city gates. With that key, we can open both the central and eastern gates at the same time. That would allow us to attack the werewolves from 2 directions.
I'll find your son. Oh, we gotta talk to General Mandan as well.
Good to see that you're still alive. If we retake Camlorn today, it will be because of you. But keep your wits about you. It's not over yet.
You're right, we still have a lot to do.
If Darian's still alive, his friend Alanon will be with him. Alanon can be difficult to deal with, but he's the best alchemist I know. He's working on a way to cure the victims of Falchu's lycanthropy.
Is he close to completing the cure?
With a few final ingredients, yes. My aides have gathered most of what he needs. Bring him these items, along with some fresh blood from Falchu's werewolves. Then, Alanon should be able to finish his cure.
I'll find Alanon. Now, I do have some bad news. Darian's not going to recognize us because of time shenanigans or something like that. Anyways, just so, Darian's not going to recognize us. Even though we know Darian, he won't know us. Now, he will in Vankurai. When we see him in Vancouver, I still recognize him. Not, we've already done Rivenspire, and he knew us from there as well, so. Journal real quick. Okay, I'm going to the same place anyways. Darian.
What brings you to our pleasant little city? The war? The blood? The thrice-damned werewolves?
The last one. The Land Guard holds the courtyard. Your father sent me to find you.
That's the first good news I've heard today. But if you're here to take me to my father, you can get that thought right out of your head. There are beautiful women in Camlorn that still need to be rescued.
There are beautiful women in Camlorn that still need to be rescued. General Gardier said to retrieve your master key.
In all seriousness, I'm not doing anything before we find a safe refuge for the civilians hiding in the surrounding buildings. The inn nearby should be defensible enough, and it's full of supplies. There's just one catch.
This is how he really thinks. He was just putting on a show before. What's the catch?
The inn's locked up tight and the innkeeper was killed trying to reach us. Get the key from the body and enter the inn. Then shine a signal light. I'll rally the civilians and get them to safety. We'll talk about my key after that.
I've noticed Bloodthorn cultists in the city.
When the werewolves attacked, the damn Bloodthorns appeared inside the city. It was as if they'd been here all along. I think they even opened the gates for the werewolves. They had a plan, and they executed it perfectly.
You think Falchu and the Bloodthorns are working together?
They didn't start out that way. That's certainly the case now. A marriage made in oblivion, to be sure, but effective nevertheless.
Are you injured? No? Then stop bothering me.
I have the ingredients for your werewolf cure.
Now don't ask me to guarantee that this antidote will work. Falchu's spawn are unusually resilient.
But can you make a cure?
In a church? Certainly not. But I could do it at the inn. That's Darian's plan, to get us to the inn. Then we'll see about crafting an antidote for this terrible affliction.
Okay. Who? Elion? This is what we like to call in the business a pro gamer move. Please do not try this in real life, because the milk crate challenge is bad. Yeah, that's Elion. He's okay. We actually, he's in Rothgar too. He helps out with the, in Rothgar as well. He's a little bit self-interested, but, you know, he's, you know, people are very mercenary in this universe.
Darian talks of nothing but wine and women. But behind his bluster, he's a better tactician than his father. Though that's not saying much.
Is the cure ready?
What do you think I've been doing here? Making soup? Here it is. Go beat up on some werewolves until they're weakened, then douse them with this. If the cure works, they'll revert to human form. Then send them back here.
Question is, what happens if it doesn't work?
And here we are at the inn, all safe and sound, more or less. We saw the light and followed you inside.
How about your master key?
Not quite yet. We need weapons and armor to help protect these civilians. There are caches of Camlorn guard supplies hidden around the city. Gather some, and we can arm more people.
I'll find the caches of weapons and armor.
How bad does it look?
I gotta put Mary away again because she can't show mercy. Oh, hey, look! She's back to normal.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you.
Get out of here, lady. Another lady.
What happened? Where am I?
And another lady. Mary creates blood and violence. Yes, I know she does. She's as bad as frickin' Murder Bear, which is a warden's pet. Wardens have a pet bear, and oh my god, them bears are so thirsty for blood. Like in the guild, we have a running joke about Murder Bear. We actually said if we ever go to a convention, we're going to get a shirts with Murder Bear on them, and wear our Murder Bear shirts. Ah, we saved one guy.
I have to get out of here.
3 women and 1 guy. All right, let's try. Oh, and by the way, any other werewolves we meet are just screwed. They have to die. But Bloodthorn can always die. Get Mary out so she can fulfill her lust for blood. Here, Mary, I have something for you. You don't need this anymore. Oh, do I not have a two-handed sword anymore? I guess I don't.
Ah, the lovely clank of armor. Well done. When we get out of here, the first drink's on me. Now, I have some good news and some bad news.
Because of course you do.
The good news is I do indeed have the master key to the city gates. The bad news is your thrilling exploits have attracted Falchu's attention.
Excellent.
The cure. Did it work?
Yes, the cure worked perfectly.
The real pity is I can't make more doses until we're out of here. Still, you were able to rescue a few of our citizens. Thanks.
Alright, Darian.
You certainly know how to make an impression.
Yep, we have 6 more main quests in this region. There's just like, I think 1 more here, and then the rest are up here in this area. Like, and then the rest of it's all side quests and stuff. So we're already almost done with the main story of this zone.
You were too successful, my friend. And now Falchu is, pardon the pun, howling mad.
Never mind that. We need to unlock the gates for the Lion Guard.
A bold plan, especially for my father. If we time it right, it should work. But that doesn't change the fact that Fal Chu is hunting for us.
What do you suggest?
Take one of these newly armed townsfolk with you. Have the civilian light the fires in the towers to signal my father. I'll take the rest of the civilians and my guards and unlock the gates.
You just want me to protect the civilian?
Oh no, you have something much more important to do. Once the fires are lit, you confront Fal Chu. Keep him busy long enough for our troops to take the city. I'll send aid as soon as I can.
You expect me to take on Fal Chu by myself?
Now, don't be modest. You've more than proven yourself. Destiny beckons and you must answer its call. Say, that sounded rather good. I should write this stuff down.
If you ever come out of the colored rooms, I'm going to shove Dawnbreaker so far up your ass that I need fire to defeat Fal Chu.
Oh, we can give you fire. At least we can once the Lion Guard archers arrive. Keep Fal Chu busy long enough, and you'll get all the fire you need.
Mm-hmm. Alright, let's go.
Who dares trespass in my city? Find them! Kill them! Bring me their bow.
I think they're talking about you, M Sharp. Mayhaps. Well, go on. I need to unlock the west tower.
Keep watch. I won't be long. I lit the signal fire. Let's move on.
On to the next one, boss.
Keep watch. I won't be long.
Beck, I hope you're watching.
I lit the signal fire. Let's move on. Keep watch. I won't be long.
Some people would prefer or chairman. Alright, that's all the towers set up. Let us go and take down Fal Chu once and for all. Camlorn Keep. An ancient seat of the rulers of Camlorn, Duke Sebastian's proud keep has been reduced to rubble by the forces of the despicable Fal Chu. You know, I've never actually visited Camlorn after the battle. I need to do that. after the stream today. I need to go on one of my characters that I've finished this on and visit.
Angoff. I did your bidding. The city is mine now.
You are still my creature, slave. I made you.
I devoured Camlord. All of Glenumbra will be mine.
Vain creature. The Lion God stands at your door. You have failed.
They are weak, and I will crush them. Camlord is mine.
You will see, beast. You will see.
You dare challenge me? Prepare to feel my wrath.
Oh, hey, I didn't even need to use fire. Lightning, the new fire. Like, just aims the lightning stuff at Falchu and blasts off some of the hair off the top of his head. It's like, I like your cut, G. And the city is ours! I think this calls for a... I think this calls for a fist pump. Wait, that was the fist pump? Hold on. That's like a pathetic fist pump. Hold on. That's better.
You did it. You killed Falchu.
It was a group effort.
Yes, my friend, but you turned the tide. We had all but lost the war before you came and showed us the way to victory.
Why were they so interested in Camlorn?
My son may know more than me on that matter. My only guess is that they sought to break the Lion Guard, divide our forces and destroy us. If not for your intervention, they very well may have succeeded.
There's trouble in other places?
Yes. Throughout Glenumbra, the Lion Guard is spread thin. And without King Casimir's full support, I'm not sure if we'll be able to deal with it all. Of course, if I had a few more like you, we might just have a chance.
What happens to Camlorn now?
We rebuild. Of course, we still need to deal with Falchu's master. But tomorrow is another day, and we should relish this victory. Well, don't let me keep you. We both have things to do, and you should speak with my son.
Very well, General.
Will this torment cease?
Hey, it's Duke Sebastian.
Gautier believes his son Darien is still alive inside the city. If that's true, we can use it to our advantage. Darien is Camlorn's captain of the guard.
What will you do now?
What any ruler should do. I'll serve my people. I failed to defend Camlorn once. That won't happen again.
Angoff is still out there.
And I pray to Stendar that you put a blade through his heart. Give Angoff what you gave Falchu. Then maybe we can put this nightmare behind us and rebuild our lives.
It's good to see the Duke back in Camlorn. This is where he belongs.
Save it for your entourage, Captain. Your father sent me to speak to you.
I wanted to thank you, personally. We might have been able to retake Camlorn eventually, but it wouldn't have been quick, and it certainly wouldn't have been pretty. You saved lives, and that's not something I'll soon forget.
What will you do now?
I'm resigning from the Camlorn Guard. Never did like being stuck in one place for too long. Once this Angoff thing is finished, maybe I'll travel for a while, see exotic lands, exotic women, drink exotic wine. Oh, and cheese. I love cheese.
You're just gonna leave?
And what are you going to do? Anyway, my job here is done. My father will take good care of the city. I'm not one for building things and making repairs. I don't even own a hammer. I'm sure I can be of more use somewhere else.
It's time for me to move on.
First one to reach Angoff buys the first bottle of wine. But in all sincerity, thanks for helping us. You really are an inspiration, and I should know, seeing as I'm pretty inspirational myself.
Interesting fact, if you're playing a female
I'm going to make sure
character...
these people are taken care of before I leave. It's the least I can do.
Interesting fact, if you're playing a female character, there's a persuade option, where he asks you to buy you a drink, and you say after this is done, which unlocks future flirty conversations with Darien that you can't access as a male character, or if you don't make that selection. So just as an interesting fact, if you're ever playing ESO on a female character and you want Darien to flirt with you, you have to make that selection here in order to unlock those conversations. Speaking of Angolf, do you have any idea where he is?
I had a drink with him earlier today. Discussed our favorite foods, our love lives, his plans for world domination, that sort of thing. No, I have no idea where Angolf is. I will find him, though. That much I promise.
So where are you going to start looking?
A squad of Lion Guard soldiers headed north to track him down. There's been no word from them, but who knows what was lost in all this werewolf nonsense. That's as good a place as any to start. Maybe they found something.
I'll look for them. Started taking the fight to the enemy. So there are only 5 main quests left, so we're going to take a little bit of a break from the main quest. We still got 17 minutes left, so I'm going to go do a side quest or two. And then next week we'll pick up with the main quest. I think we might be able to finish Glenumbra before... Yeah, we have 2 more weeks in January of streams. I feel like we're going to be starting Stormhaven before February starts. Which is right on track with what I wanted to, where I wanted to be. So... Eaglebrooks Way Shrine. There's a quest over here.
You can't just let my village Please. They won't listen to me. It's true that I used to run with the Red Rooks, but I quit. I hate all the chaos they're causing in Glenumbra. Now I just want to help save my town. But the guards don't believe me.
Why did they tie you up?
The guards caught me sneaking around. They don't believe I'm trying to save the village. The Bloodthorn are gathering the villagers at the docks for sacrifice. They kill them and raise them as zombies. I don't want my friends to end up like that.
How can I help?
My father's a mage. His signature spell is a spell of hiding that I know can protect the villagers. If you can reach our house and prepare the spell, I can rescue the villagers and meet you there. You just need to convince Dame Clarique to free me.
I'll talk to Dame Clarique. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Clarique?
You'll find Dame Clarique up the road.
Yeah, Clarique.
She's the knight in charge of this Lion Guard unit. Since she's the one who had me tied up, you'll need to convince her to let me go.
Tell me more about the spell you want me to cast.
It's called Marion's White Mask. My father loves to name his spells after himself. When cast on a building, the spell cloaks everyone inside in a shroud of misdirection. Makes anyone who looks see something other than what's really there.
White Mask, what does that mean?
My father used to scare me with the spell. He'd cast it on his workshop and make himself look like a hooded specter in a white mask. We argued about it. A lot. I never found it as funny as he did.
Where can I find your father?
I don't know where he is. He was in the village before the attack, and I fear the worst. My father and I, well, we didn't always get along. That's why I joined the Red Rooks in the first place. I just hope he's still alive.
Let's go then. Hello, Clarique.
As if the problems in Camlorn weren't enough, we have cultists and bandits harrying our flanks. I've been assigned to keep an eye on the situation here, and my vigilance paid off. We captured one of those Red Rook bandits.
The bandit's trying to save the village.
You talked to him, didn't you? Why exactly do you trust this bandit? I'm not even convinced there are any villagers left alive in there to save. We haven't seen anyone but the cultists.
Why would a bandit try to sneak into a village full of evil cultists?
I suppose that's a good point. If what he's told us is correct, we wouldn't see the villagers anyway. He says they're being kept down by the docks. Very well. I'll let the bandit go. I just hope I don't regret this.
You should be fine. Meanwhile... Charge. Just charge straight into enemy territory and blast some people.
to know how to scrap.
Okay, so we need to collect the candles, collect the salve, get the glass gems. Hold on, shrouding ashes. Finally, made the spell work. I was barking up the wrong tree as far as the shrouding ashes were concerned. Turns out they weren't necessary at all. So that I don't forget, the formula for Marin's white mask is as follows. Tammin will love this spell. I can't wait to show him. First, recite the incantation over the ritual table to begin the spell. Then place the masking salve. So masking salve first. So chanting incantation, then masking salve. I'll detail that recipe elsewhere, but I made quite a lot of it. Third, light a candle and place it in so it blends the scent of the salve with the candle smoke. Finally, the glass gems. So it's salve, or it's incantation, salve, candle, gems. Oh, and one's giving something free away. So first things first. I gotta have the incantation. Note to self: my 4 fondest memories are the new words of power for the table. As of Seven Suns Dawn, the Mages Guild, my wife Emil, Camlorn, and Tamlin. Okay. The Mages Guild, my wife Lynn, my birthplace Camlorn, my son Tamlin. Alright, so first up is going to be the masking salve, followed by the candle, and then the shrouding ashes. Oops, nope, gotta have to restart. Okay, so masking salve, the candle, the glass gems.
You cast my spell. The masking ritual. But why?
Your son sent me here to cast your spell. He should be here shortly.
Here. I hoped he would return. There's no time for that right now, though. We need to act before the Bloodthorn cultists cause more damage. The Bloodthorn have been draining my essence to fuel their necromantic rituals. They're transporting the animated dead from the docks. They've sent zombies as far north as Cath Madro, and Daggerfall is next.
How can we stop them?
I'm imprisoned in a pocket plane of oblivion. I think I can use the magic I still possess to collapse the plane and end the ritual. But in case I fail, you need to burn the Bloodthorn's boats. Don't let any more zombies leave the village.
I'll stop the Bloodthorn. Cutting off the source.
I'm glad to see the spell worked. That should keep these villagers safe. I heard you talking to my father, though. I hope you're not going to pursue his foolish plan. It's too dangerous.
You don't think his plan will work?
Oh, it'll work, but it's idiotic. As usual, my father only takes into account the big picture.
What do you mean?
He's going to collapse his prison. I'm not an expert in pocket planes, but that doesn't sound healthy. He's going to kill himself to stop the ritual. I can't let that happen. I'm going after him.
Alright, we have a choice. We can say you're on your own, Glenumbra's more important, I'm going to stop the Bloodthorns, or I'll help you save your father, we'll deal with the Bloodthorns later. So anyone who wants to throw in their 2 cents, now is the time. Help save the father. Okay. We'll give it until the 23 mark. If nobody else votes at that point, that's what we'll go with. Okay,
I owe you, friend. We'll find a way to deal with the cultists. The Bloodthorn took control of a house in the center of the village. That's where we'll begin to search for my father. I'll get some things together and meet you there.
Divines, save me.
Oh, cool. You can see the masking spell on the door. Oh look, it's Mayor's Dagon. You're gonna be Molog's Ball, not Mayor's Dagon.
Maybe I should have joined the buoyant homages.
What were you thinking, coming in here after me? The Bloodthorn will escape!
Tannerin thought you were too valuable to lose.
My son said that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to berate you. I can still collapse this plane. The Bloodthorn may escape, but we'll stop the necromantic ritual here and now. I'll follow you back to the portal.
Alright.
Proud of that.
Wait, did I miss a quest? Hold up, wait, what? Is that back in the other? I'm gonna have to guess it's probably on the other side of this.
You made it. I was worried about you.
Where have you been?
Bloodthorn cultists followed you into the house. I got the drop on them and guarded the portal until you returned. They're upstairs. See for yourself.
What are you gonna do now?
Now that my father is safe, I want to get out of Glenumbra. I'm through with this place. And I don't want Dame Clarique to put me back in chains. You should go speak to her. I need some time with my father.
Hopefully that quest emblem comes back. That was weird. I wonder if that was a quest that was only available in that pocket dimension, but I didn't see any place it could have been. That's weird.
I'm just glad there were some survivors.
We just watched boats filled with Bloodthorn cultists sail away from the docks. What happened down there?
Tamlin and I stopped the necromantic ritual and rescued his father, but the Bloodthorns escaped.
I hope it was worth it. Those Bloodthorn cultists will cause trouble elsewhere, no doubt. There's some consolation that you stopped the necromantic ritual, however. We'll take care of the remaining cultists and their zombies.
Okay, and that is where we're going to end off for this week, everybody. We started over here and we worked our way this way and cleared through all of this stuff right over here to make it back to here. And then, so next time we are going to, we're going to swing over here and do this place real quick, and then we're going to head up to do this. Now let's work our way through the remaining part of the Glenumbra. We'll see how much we can finish next week. I doubt we're going to make it to Stormhaven next week, but definitely the next session after we should be done with Glenumbra and into Stormhaven. So, hey, thanks for coming, and everyone have a great day. I hope to catch you next time for more of the Elder Scrolls Online as Reewish, the Mighty Battle Lizard. Goodbye, everybody.